So we're going to do actual live YouTube, or what are you doing?
Yeah, we're live right now.
That's
on
awesome.
YouTube.
Holy cow.
That's right. And we're going to try to monitor comments every now and then if anybody's watching. But we'll probably post about where we're streaming. Let's do that before we get to talking.
Yes, sir. But we want to keep people in that come and watch after the fact.
Yeah, they'll know to just skip ahead. I'll probably put a link in the description to skip ahead.
Skip ahead to 1 minute and 37 seconds.
Yeah. I'll put it on the Cornhole one. Where is it?
B3 Cornhole fan page.
Yeah, we got that. The guys made it. They asked if they could make it.
Nice.
I said, yeah, go ahead. Just make me an admin.
Love it.
How on the earth do you type? Live bag surgery. Starting now. Please add something. I just typed it. I didn't put the put the link. Oh boy.
Link in bio. Well, that's all right. We're just going to have to entertain people while they're waiting.
There we go. Now we got it. Okay. Let's get her started. Put this away. You can monitor comments with this. Okay. I need to make my screen big, and then we're set to introduce the bag of the day. The bag of the day is, Dustin?
The Widow R by Ultra Cornhole.
With the Ultra Carpet. It's ultrafied.
It's fast. It's fast carpet.
But let's also introduce our co-host for today. Dustin?
Introduce, yes. Dustin Hoffman, Howley Nut Cornhole.
How do you spell that?
HAOLENAUT.
There's a whole story behind that. We'll get to it, of course. Dustin's coming from us from, you're in Apollo Beach, right?
Nope, Palmetto.
Oh, you went further south.
A little farther south, yep.
Palmetto, Florida. It's about 30 minutes south of where I'm at in Riverview. And he runs a league out there, 941 Cornhole. Am I correct?
Yep, most of the stuff I run is in Sarasota, Bradenton. A little bit farther south from where I'm at, but we've built up a pretty good collection of folks, players, and great people.
And Dustin was nice enough to bring us these Widow R's. Well used. These have been naturally broken in, correct?
That's correct.
And they are definitely broken in. Super floppy. Soft. Very soft. That's the first thing I noticed is how soft they are. No chemicals, right?
Correct.
Just like the other Widow we did, the Widow B, I think it was a Widow B. They got this top side flipped, but this is the R for the carpet, if I'm not mistaken. But if you've never seen these, here's your first up close look at what this looks like, broken in and well used.
Definitely a soft bag in hand and lands really soft.
Kind of thin. Maybe just because they're so broken in.
Yeah, they
expand it, but they feel thin.
As I mentioned, I'm not a big fan of floppy bags. So once they get to a certain point, I don't like using them anymore.
Is this to that point?
Yeah, I think so. But so I probably won't personally use them, but I would definitely recommend.
I wonder if there's a way to stiffen a bag up. Maybe dip it in cornstarch or something.
There you go.
There's plenty of ways to make them too soft. What do we want to do first? We can't really comment on the sublimation. Well, maybe we can a little because they're so worn in. Most of the color kind of has faded. There's dirt. But this is what a normal bag looks like when you go to like a blind draw or something. This is the 2021-2022. And what they did is sublimate the carpet pattern, sort of, onto the back or onto this fabric to make it look like one full bag. But you can see the color difference now that it's got a lot of use.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even know that. Or didn't even realize that, but you're right.
Yeah, they did that with the Viper one too. I'll tell you what, let's just get right into this thing.
Love it.
Because there's not really a whole lot to talk about on the inside. But I'll tell you what, that closing stitch sure has like melded into the edge. Like here's the regular edge, here's the stitch edge. You can hardly even tell it's there, except for the little pucker.
Nice.
Find a good one to take apart here. That's hard to tell. But we're going to go with this one.
Yeah, usually you speed through this on your videos.
Usually,
so
but this time we're going to talk through it.
Absolutely.
But the nice thing about Ultras is it's one stitch. Doesn't take very long. You are an ACL regional director?
Yes, sir. We'll be running regionals out of Sarasota. Sarasota Event Center is our new venue this year.
That's awesome. It's an actual event center. All right.
Correct. Yep. They've got kind of a bar and grill attached. They're also part of the shrine down there, so you'll see it posted as 2 or 3 different names, but we run some Monday night stuff out of that venue, which is great. But regionals will be there as well.
How many boards you going to throw out?
10 or 11 will be a good fit. Last year our venue was the Elks in Ruskin, and they were fantastic.
I love that chili. Oh, yes.
Yeah. They did a great job. We was a little tight though. We had 8 boards and it was a little tight. So
yeah,
looking forward to extra space.
Well, sure, like there's plenty of room to play. If you're playing, like you don't have to really worry about bumping into your neighbor too much. But right behind you was a wall.
Right.
That was kind of tough.
Yeah, and our new place is we've even got more space between the boards. So if we wanted to jam pack more boards in, we could. But
cool. So it's good to have room to grow.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be bigger this year overall, or you expect the same people?
I bet it's going to be similar. We've got they added a regional director, Mike Ferreira, in Clearwater. So I think there was starting to become large enough turnouts that it was warranted some extra spots, and I think our following has really grown down in Sarasota, Bradenton, but we generally get a lot of folks from all over, within an hour or two's drive. Kat's going to be running it in Lakeland this year. So
is he going to come down to the Sarasota one too, or no?
Yeah, I'm guessing they'll probably come down once or twice, but they're pretty busy between her and Tanner. They travel quite a bit.
Yeah, they're just in California, right?
Yeah, they're there now.
He was on TV.
Yeah. Yep.
And the Ryder Cup, or not Ryder Cup, the team, whatever you call it. What do they call it? Crew Cup? Yeah.
Yeah, the whole championships this weekend. I haven't even had a chance to catch up and see how it's going. I was playing in a tournament yesterday, so I was pretty jam-packed.
How'd you do?
We did all right. I think we went 3 or 4-2, but it was pretty loaded. We had first place, I believe, was Hasib and Kyle Malone.
Kyle's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not on TV a lot more. Does he go to a lot of touring events?
Yeah, he definitely does. He's won 3 doubles championships.
Wow. So
pretty impressive. And Hasib, who he played with yesterday, he's a dog. He's a hell of a player.
Him and Kyle were going against each other at the last regional. I remember watching that one intently because it was right in front of me, but that was a good match.
Yep. Yeah, the other, I think second place yesterday was Jordan Kamba and Ashton Spees. And then Cody Johnson, Zach Shibner, new pro this year that you'll have to look out for. He's been throwing really well. And then Mike Ferreira, actually, aforementioned Mike Ferreira with his significant other Lydia, actually got fourth.
Does Holly not sponsor any ACL pros?
Not at the moment. We're still relatively new in the realm, so been spending a lot of money just trying to get branded, and
I hear you.
obviously kind of a combination of stuff for boards and apparel, and But I'd love to sponsor some players. Maybe if not the second half of this year, for sure next year.
That'd be awesome. I wonder, what do you consider like a sponsorship package? Because I'm trying to sponsor people too, and still working out what I want to do.
Yeah, I'm actually learning a little bit about that. I think there's, just like anything, there's definitely levels. But you can spend some pretty good money on sponsoring players, and you definitely got to. We've got so many players here that are generally on the main stage at the national tournaments that there's some opportunity.
You get some visibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your number one product right now?
My hats, I would say. They've been pretty popular since I've rolled those out. I just recently picked up a couple, I guess, bulk orders of apparel that I've started to slowly get onto the website, and recently bought a new domain because I know Howley Knot's a little tough to spell. So I've got 941cornhole.com will get you there, but I also did hnot, NAUT.com.
That's not bad. Plus, that's a little easier to type when you're doing an email too.
Yeah, hnot.
We finally got this thing open.
Sweet.
Take a look. It looks like the same Widow Fill as the Widow B. Look at that there. Well, I think it is. I'd have to go back and look at the Widow B, but there's some round plastic, kind of oblong plastic, and then, of course, the RZ3 pellets, as we call them now, and then those flat green discs, which are just recycled pellets. We're going to get it into a bowl here. You got the bowl right there.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. I'm helping, actually.
What's your favorite bag insides?
I think that these and many others look like those Dippin' Dots, right? Like,
yeah,
I feel like
it's all vanilla flavored.
Look delicious. So, one of these days, I'm glad I don't do this because I would have probably been in there by now.
This is also fast motioned too.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Ooh, nice backing on this carpet. Yeah, man.
Look at that.
Look at that. So this is the regular side of the fabric.
Are there any bags that use?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Because I was going to say that it's definitely a familiar material.
The Viper has the same side as the
really?
slow side.
Ah, okay.
And they use the correct shiny side.
Gotcha.
There's like a dozen bags that have the same. This fabric's very popular in Cornhole.
Yeah. I think one of my first sets of bags had maybe the same material or similar, but razor. Oh boy, I can't remember which sets of razors. It was just after they had moved or been sold over from the previous owner. I think was Maddie, right?
Mm-hmm. As far as I know,
Maddie King. Yeah,
the internet tells me.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this here.
Definitely like his bags as well.
These aren't cold by any means, but they could substitute as Dippin' Dots.
I tell you what, yesterday's tournament, I thought Kevin we were playing with your Mach 2s.
Mm-hmm.
Love them, by the way. And they felt cold, like the bags felt cold. I thought he pulled them out of his freezer or something. I'm like, man, what are you doing, Kev? Here, hold on. Let me try a little bit of that.
Oh, no way.
This looks good.
Wow. He actually put it in his mouth.
All right. Well, that wasn't his. Oh, darn it. Look at me go. That's the first spill ever. You're always so meticulous, and then here I come.
We gotta get these pellets.
Here I go screwing it up. Thank goodness they're my bags.
The cost of an Ultra bag, each one of these pellets is probably 10 cents. Didn't you sell your Viper R's for $300?
Yeah, I sell some stuff on eBay. Not
That's
always
pretty
bags,
good.
some sports cards too. But
Someone bought them.
someone bought them. I was like, if someone's willing to pay that much, what the heck, huh?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to switch lenses here to our super zoom lens and get a close-up on these pellets right now. Of course, there's no jump cut to...
I was waiting to see if you could still make it work.
shit, that put you in a hypnotic state, and
Look at this. You got all the nice equipment, Andy.
we're going to use these bags to prop it up, and a few more. There we go. Sweet. We can go a little bit higher too. There we go. Super zoom. Can you see the monitor here?
Oh, yeah, nice.
That's what we're dealing with.
That's crazy.
I guess it's all one pellet then. I figured they'd have a mix of these like bulk pellets, but they don't. But you said you broke these in naturally, right?
Correct.
And this is a well broken in pellet. I end up talking about that a lot, like on a new bag, and people put the softener and then they try to sauce it.
Yeah.
But the pellets, they don't get this nice sheen. You got to be playing games to get this nice little sheen going on. Get those nice and smooth.
Yeah, I used these for most of the second half of the ACL season last year. So I couldn't, but I just dislike, these really didn't require a ton of break-in. They got there pretty quick.
Yeah, considering this fast side fabric is pretty slow, or not slow, it's not thick, and it's not thin, it's like right in the middle. But it breaks in nice. Doesn't have a whole lot of backing. But just from looking at it, I think this carpet side has a lot of backing, but we'll look at that close up too soon enough. Okay, pretty basic fill. Not like the Widow B, I believe. I think the Widow B had a mix of the bulk and then this flat disc.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's see what we got here. I got to get one thing.
Love it.
Okay, bear with me. But here we go for the fabric itself. Same Ultra stitching. They do those little winglets right there. And this was the end of the run, hence the thread tail. It started right here. Started its journey right here. Does a little back tack, comes around. I haven't tried doing this, but I don't really see it having a purpose too much. But it looks neat. Stitching, as usual, is great overall. I wonder what machine they use. I wonder if it's one of them Dema ones, Dematrons, or an actual name brand Juki. But there sure is a lot of this fuzz coming off the backside. But I see no issues here. Now you know why I like to cut these corners off, right?
Yeah.
Just to help unbunch the corner when it's flipped inside out.
Makes sense.
And I think that's what helps it gets a little more hole friendly. Because you see like a bag kind of hanging on to like a corner's hanging over the edge or on top of the hole. That's what's keeping it from going in.
Yeah, I can see it jamming up the corners.
Here we go, the backside. It's got, I guess it's got a backing. I think it does. But it's not much of a backing, or it already wore off a little bit.
I love these close-up views. This is awesome.
Here's my fingernail.
It's a good-looking fingernail, Andy.
Thanks. This is the one that had a hangnail, or was it my other hand? I don't remember.
We should do an analysis on your hangnail.
If I didn't have a Band-Aid on, we can get some like medical stuff going on.
Love it.
I'm probably making the people at home sick.
Maybe one of our 70,000 viewers is
Yeah.
an actual doctor that could chime in here.
Hopefully we get more on the replay. But here's a close-up of the fast side. Sublimation's holding up really well. I mean, it's just a little faded after being used so much. It's hard to tell, really, because it's so dirty. It's so dirty. You got to take care of your bags.
Look at this guy.
Jeez.
Never been washed.
Never. They've also never been on the ground.
Never.
Never. Always thrown second bag, always in the hole on top of the other bag
That's
that's
right.
already there.
Yep. Always throw the exact same bag first, too. So it's just the one that's touched the ground. That's it.
They're all numbered. Here's kind of a closer look at what they tried to do with the sublimation of the pattern. And it's pretty close. It's pretty close, especially in the pictures. In the pictures, it's just a digital representation. It's not the actual bag itself, which I wish more people would do, is put the picture of the bag versus just the JPEG or something, you know.
Yeah. It is pretty
I
cool.
want to see the actual bag. Kind of like this. Nice looking closing stitch. It's kind of hard to keep it in focus. I lowered the aperture just to get more light. No issues here. They usually make some kind of mark here. I guess this time it was this part of the spider web. Just pass it a little. Boom. Our carpet. Anybody recognize that fabric? Let a brother know. Although we got a bag coming out. We're going to relaunch our Intimidator bag, which is our fastest carpet bag. It's got a 10 on the fast side. But I found another stuff I want to use for the slow side. Because the 10-speed fabric is totally waterproof. And now the slow side is also going to be waterproof, water resistant. And when you play in the wet, you'll notice no slowdown at all.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I washed them, and while they were still wet, I threw them on St. Pete boards, and I think they went faster being wet.
Jeez. Yeah, this is definitely this carpet does not play like normal carpet.
It's so soft, too.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's smooth, doesn't kick. It's not something you're going to be able to roll. You could cut it a little bit, but
I think a lot of rolls depends on how you throw the bag. And not
100%.
so much the fabric.
It's just a little more difficult because it's not going to catch like you need it to.
Right. Let me turn this up a little bit. There we go. Anyways, it sure is soft. What else can we look at here? Oh, where the closing stitch is. It looks like it just goes past the edge. Starts like right here. It goes all the way across past the edge of the other hole. So no beads are getting out. No beads, no dipping dots.
I still have my spoon, just in case.
Just in case they do. Oh, this will be fun. We can take a look at the slow side of the Cobra bag while we're here.
There you go.
Beautiful. ACO.
Nice.
We're going big this year. This is no color correction. Normally on the post-processing, I'll do color correction. Oh, here's that 10-speed fabric. It's the same stuff on our Cobra, too.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it is fast. I love how the colors come out. Like, wow, that is super, super sharp.
That is nice.
Here, take a feel of that 10-speed and tell me what you think.
Oh, God, yeah. Way too fast for me. But
But you play in the wet, Yeah, you're going to be on fire.
There's definitely nights and days here in Florida where this would come in handy, though,
Yeah.
for sure.
Let's go back to this other lens. All right, shield your eyes, folks. Shield your eyes.
Look at this quick action. It's like a NASCAR
Wow.
pit.
I'm a DSLR prime shooter, so I'm used to changing lenses all the time.
Love it.
Yes, the Widow R. We're going to do some measurements here. Let me find my calipers. Go ahead and talk for a little bit, would you?
Yeah, you betcha. So these particular things are a little bit bigger template, which is nice, but as I mentioned, for me personally, they get a little tough when they start to get too floppy. I know Andy's jumping back on, and I don't know, Andy, a lot of your stuff has a bigger template, right?
I guess it's bigger. I don't really know. I kind of sized it to match the fill, so I get the right
Yeah.
feeling. Check these bad boys out.
Oh, wow.
This is new for bag surgery. Actual calipers instead of me eyeballing with a ruler
That is fancy.
on. We're in inches.
If you guys could see the actual setup in here, Andy's got such cool equipment.
Yeah, there's enough room to walk.
All the best stuff. Yeah, it's a little tight in here, but you got some cool stuff.
Yeah, it's a little bit tight.
And I've watched you in action. You do a heck of a job. You're
6.2
extremely
inches.
meticulous.
Got to be precise. 6.2 inches wide, and we're going to go with the opening being 2.68, and the closing stitch was probably 3. 2.7, probably not 3. I'm going to get my scale out too.
Weigh
I gotta
these
remember
bad
where I
boys.
put these things.
Yeah, the ACL rules this year are going to be interesting with, I think we'll have some more bags in question, so to speak, especially coming off of one of the last national events.
Yeah, one bag maker is already bowed out.
Yeah, yikes.
I don't know what the deal was with that, but I don't want to ask.
I try not to get involved in that either, but
First bag weighing in at 15.9. I bet they all weigh that. They are super precise usually. Never mind.
look at you go.
15.8 and 15.9. We'll weigh the other bag when we get it back together.
After I ate like 5 of those Dippin' Dots.
This should weigh 3 pounds, 15.6, or 2 pounds, 15.7. Okay, 15.6. We're gonna put them back together soon. Hey, yeah, the ACL rules, are they ever enforced?
I'd say it, as far as bags,
Yeah.
yeah, like at a regional, we don't really have to worry about it too much. Everybody's bringing ACL approved bags, which is great. Luckily, I haven't personally had to tell somebody they're not able to play with a bag or go through the weighing and measuring process. But I know at some of the national events, especially recently, they've had that.
And that was because players called it out. And that's probably the only time that's happened, eh?
That I know of.
And they both failed. And then they both said, you know what? Rules 5.84, as you can see right there. So they're well within spec. The minimum is 5.75, and the max is 6.25.
Mm.
Oops. I'm still learning how to spin a bag on my finger. I don't know how they do it. Overall, it feels good. Tell you what, I'm going to fill up this other bag. We'll get a full weight
Beautiful.
and see how thick they are, if you don't mind talking for a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to have to get one of these fancy calipers here for my tournaments, Andy, just in case, especially now that we got people calling it out. I think the other rules as a regional director that are a little tough are, line fouls. You tend to get some people calling that out, which is warranted, but it's tough because it's not a perfect system. You don't have replay, and at the same time, you can understand why people would call it out, but you can't just take points away if you never saw it, and you have to give a warning, and then that can create some tension and frustration. So there's a lot of little things that go into it that get a little tough. So with regards to the rules, and this year's there's a few more things that as we've gotten here in the recent weeks, the regional director. Some of the documentation, there's some things that we're reading through, trying to get a little better understanding of. I think they're doing some great things. Just a matter of making sure that as regional directors, we understand all the intricacies. Andy, you going to put those in your freezer after this?
I sew it up.
Love it. Andy's over here at the sewing machine. He's like quick action. Sewing these back up, and just so that I don't get called out, I probably won't be using these at regional tournaments. They're just going to be for people to borrow. So, yeah. I'm not sure what my go-to at regionals are going to be this year. I've been Deadheads are a good bag. I really like those. They have a smaller template though, right, Andy? Do you think? In hand, they feel like a smaller template than those Widows or.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the size on those. It's hard to say. I'm not really sure. They might be a little bigger. I just don't know. I've never actually held one. Me and Buffalo go way back, though.
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay, let's get weight on all four of these now. One, 0.9, 0.9, 0.9, and we should see 4 pounds, no, 3 pounds, 15.6. Oh, come on. Nope, okay, it averages out to a little less.
Just push on it a little bit. There you go.
They're within spec. 12 pounds. The thickness test. This is the tough part because it's not super precise, but it's precise enough. Let's see.
So violent.
Smash them down. We're going to leave this here and measure that.
Sweet. Yeah, 80-some teams yesterday's tournament.
This is tougher than I thought.
Andy, that was crazy.
80?
80-some teams, yep. St. Pete Cornhole, John does a great job. Makes great boards, too. Got to give him a shout-out.
Yeah, I'm still, like, some days I love the finish, some days I don't.
Yeah.
Depends on what bag. All right, we got 4.9, 4.29, so 4.3. They're fine. They average over an inch. That's what matters if it's over 4.
Perfect.
I think 1 and 1/8 is the minimum. I know the Surefires weren't anywhere near. They were so thin.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to use a Widow R, so you're going to try the Deadhead, or what else?
Well, that Surefire slow material, which is
Yeah, it's on our
it's
felon
this,
here.
right? Yeah. So I like any bag with that material because it's like the perfect speed for me.
Yeah, it's about a 4.
Yeah.
I think on the St. Pete boards, it plays like a 4.
Yeah. Yep. It's a little slower. But so Deadheads, they got a little faster, fast side than like a Surefire. But to your point, the Surefires, it doesn't take them long to get really floppy. And then
No, there's not much fill. I wonder if the Deadheads are mixed.
Yeah,
Mixed fill, I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
If anybody wants to send a set, Yeah, I'll put the P.O. box in the
There you go.
description. Just don't send me your cat litter or your junk mail. Or do, because then I know your address too. Well, these are pretty sweet, though. I think the lineup looks good. There's not really much to line up for the sides, but I mean, the lineup as far as this is centered, this is a good size. It's not too small. Some people are putting their Pro logos like so tiny.
Oh,
Can't
really?
even read it.
I like Ultra does a heck of a good job of designing.
Yeah, it's basic. It's not. It doesn't look like Skrillex has diarrhea and they put it on a music page.
Right. Yeah, they're very simple, but good.
Yeah, some bags are just doing a little too much.
Right.
When I can't tell any one color, that's the thing. Now, as far as designing bags goes, my number one rule is, can you tell, like doing an 8-bag set for a customer, can I tell the difference of the bags in the dark from 30 feet away? That's the main rule. The rest is just make it work.
I've got some wild designs on my bags,
I like them.
but
you can tell an overall color. Like one's mostly
yeah.
pink and tan and peach, and the other's mostly blues.
Yep.
Are those up for sale?
They are on hnaut.com. hnaut.com. I know the guy that makes them.
What?
hnaut.com. naut.com.
There they are.
There.
Holly, not Cornhole.
Oh, looks like
Olay.
looks like I gotta fix the mobile view, don't I?
Yes. I like the Olay.
Cornhole.
Cornhole.
Darn, the mobile view's all messed up. I was just messing with that yesterday because of the whole branding thing and going through that process. But yeah,
It's got boards. I'm wearing a Holly Knot shirt right now. That one of the some we made some shirts for Dustin,
yeah.
but this one's not on there, unfortunately. Here's the new bag. The H3.
The hell they not H3.
See, it's mostly orange and
Yep.
peach. I like that.
It just happens to have that same material we were talking about.
Yep, it's basically a Surefire.
These are
but
not
fuller.
Yeah, these
and
are not
better.
ACL approved, but definitely great for non-ACL events, and also
It's this bag right here.
if you're going to practice with it, if you like throwing the Surefire or Deadhead, then it's a great bag to practice with, so you're not breaking yours down like I did these Widows.
I-75. That is the carpet style.
Yep.
I still gotta fix this one or make a new one. I can do it while you're here. This one caught a snag and tore.
Yeah.
So sad.
I have a bunch at my tournaments because I run some big tournaments that are advertised to newbies, and so I always have a lot out for practice. Now those ones were somebody was practicing with and came back with them, and I'm like, hey, what happened there? But yeah, that hat is one of my hot sellers right now for sure. Those things turned out amazing.
Love a good hat. Here's an example of the St. Pete Cornhole board. I wonder where he got this cut, or if he had the custom cut, because
Custom CNC.
I thought he
Yeah.
had Cornhole Solutions do all the frame kits.
He used to have his normal boards done by Cornhole Solutions and the frame kits, but he doesn't anymore, I don't believe. But that particular surfboard was kind of an idea of mine, and then he was able to execute on it, so it turned out real nice.
And that's what you use for some of the prize money stuff?
Yeah, I do some skills challenges at some of my tournaments. Specifically the ACL regionals, I do an all-star challenge. So I'll pick out 6 to 8 advanced or pro level players that can participate for free, kind of play it as a raffle, and people can buy tickets to vote or bet on their favorite players. And then at the end of the season, I'll kind of pull back everybody that's won one and do kind of a big one, which we did, and we had on the live that you did for me. So
Yeah, I remember. I like that one when the kid did 4 of the airmails.
yeah,
Because you're putting the airmail box behind the board, so it's an extra, 4 feet, 3
yeah,
feet?
yep,
And this kid with a lower ceiling hit 4 in a row.
yeah.
Just bam, 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 bam.
He
It's
did.
one of those things where you'd stand up and cheer.
To win it, Griff, he's a heck of a player.
Griff's probably not an actual kid. I keep saying that.
He is.
He looks young.
He's
Okay.
like 13 or 14
Okay.
years old.
I
Yeah.
didn't know if he had a job or what.
No. Yep.
His job is playing cornhole.
Yep. And having fun like
Mhm.
a kid.
Yeah, the Widow R. Pretty cool. And they're doing a release on Monday of the Viper R.
I saw
I'm
that.
going to try and snag a set myself.
Good luck after the recent popularity here.
Yeah, just to add to the collection. But I posted on the Instagram page and said, "Oh, you think these are going to sell out fast, or what?"
Ultra does a great job. They're one of the bag companies that I think they only sell what they have. They
Well, I think
They
what they
ship
do
quick.
is they'll buy in bulk all the stuff they need to make a run of bags,
yeah.
like all the red, all the blue, and probably another 2,000-3,000 pounds of pellets. Make all the bags at once over throughout the week. Then they have the sale on Monday or Sunday, and boom, they're usually sold out. And if there's any left, then they sell them at a higher price.
Yeah.
I bought the
absolutely.
Vapor R's. I don't really care for them too much.
I did too. I'm gonna try to break them in and see if there's something I like, but I haven't had a chance to try them yet.
Anyway, I think they compare to these. These are just generally slower.
I haven't even had a chance to
What-
pull them out of the package.
What
to be honest
speed do
with
you think this is?
I'd say if you're saying that the like that deadhead material is a 4, I'd say this is probably a 6 or a 7.
Wow. And you're not seeing any slowdown in the humidity?
No.
This would slow down drastically.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like the fast side is the one that has the biggest variance with humidity. The slow
Yeah.
side can sometimes even be faster.
This would still soak up water, but I don't know if it would affect how it plays on the board. But this definitely soaks water.
Yeah. Since I keep them all in the nice simple stack inside the hole. I never,
Yeah, they barely touch
yeah.
the ground. And then, of course, you throw in that flat bag that cuts through the air.
That's right.
It's a flat vertical bag. I'm joking.
If only I could be consistent like some of these guys.
Yeah, same. Sometimes I'll throw a 4-bagger, then sometimes I'll throw a no-bagger.
Right? Yep, I feel like I had a few of those yesterday, unfortunately.
What'd you place?
I don't know. I
Oh,
feel like we
you
might
didn't
have
win
been.
then, so.
No, we didn't. Top 4 were all pros. There were some other really good. We got knocked out by Barry Burrich and Bill Smith. Those guys are both ex-pros. And then a couple. Our other both 2 close losses, both to really good teams. So I want to say we probably got like top 12 or so, but out of 40 plus competitive teams, or upper level teams rather.
Nice. I wish I could have gone. Maybe tomorrow I can go because you did the Monday night in Sarasota. The only problem is it's an hour away.
Yeah. Tomorrow night, Sherry is actually running it for me. She's going to be the one that I'm partnering up with for the regionals. Kat and I partnered last year. It definitely takes a team.
Mm-hmm.
So since Kat is now able to do hers closer to where she lives, I'm doing,
Lakeland, huh?
yep,
Cool.
up in Lakeland. So Sherry Herbst, she does a great job in helping and running some of her own stuff too. So we're going to tag team that along with many others. We got a good crew of people that like to help us out, which is absolutely necessary.
How long have you been doing Holly Knot?
Well, I came out with the brand name in 2019. It was actually a nickname of mine as a kid.
Ah, yes, the story.
Yeah. So to summarize, I spent some summers in Honolulu, and my dad was a construction worker, and he lived there. So I would go up to the park and play basketball. And if anybody's ever been to Hawaii, they call you Haole Boy if you're not from the island, right? And so this group of guys I used to play with and against, they'd call me Haole Boy because I wasn't from there. But eventually they started to kind of accept me and call me Haole Knot, which was like their way to accept me. And so where the logo came from was they ended up inviting me surfing. So they kind of taught me how to surf a little bit. And it was really representative of my entire childhood, just moving around a ton. It was always sports, basketball, football, baseball, that made it easy to transition. So that's kind of what the name means to me. Howley Knot is really all about how sports is you explore places through sports, I suppose.
Yeah, that's how I found you guys, was Cornholio.
Yeah.
Or Scoreholio.
Oh, really?
Really, it was my buddy Gary from Pennsylvania. They were down here to go look at colleges for his kids.
Ah.
And he's like, hey, can I stop by? I was like, yeah, sure. Of course, it was like right after I was sick. And anyway, he's like, yeah, we're going to go play down in this place in Bradenton. So that's not far. So I'm going to go too. And this is after 2 weeks of just laying in bed with COVID.
Oh, no.
So when I went to play that first time with you guys, I think it was my first time. Yeah, it was. Like, I was tired. I wasn't sick anymore, but just from laying down that long,
Right.
I could barely throw it the whole 27 feet, let alone for a whole night. So I played horrible, but it was really fun. And then I started getting my other buddy around here to come down and play a little bit. And I go there whenever I can. Now I'm on a schedule where I don't have nights off from 12:30 to 8:30. So I come home, make bags, wake up late.
Yeah, you are a busy man.
So if I got a day off like Labor Day, then boom, I'm going to go when I can. Play some actual cornhole.
There you go.
You see the spin factor on these things. I'm trying to just show the...
Yeah, they are. You see how smooth they are with what you're doing right there. But you can see it almost even seems a little bit slower on the fast side, right?
Yeah.
Or quote unquote.
It's hard to
fast
tell.
side.
This is super slick.
Sure.
Editor. Okay, I think that about does it for this video. Those who are watching, thanks for watching. I'm gonna make an edited version of just the bags and us talking. Well, maybe I'll just leave it as is because I don't want to cut out the audio too much.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you inviting me, brother.
Cool, fun live stream. It's almost like a podcast.
Yeah.
Almost something we could do regularly if you weren't so far away.
Indeed.
Maybe once a month. We'll try that.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna get on here. I gotta do it on the computer. Bye, everybody.